In this episode of 50 Phenoms, Ryan Shazier talks with Brandy Sweeney. When Brandy was 8 months pregnant, she was diagnosed with a rare heart condition that threatened her life. She had to leave her whole world behind in West Virginia to undergo a life-saving heart transplant at UPMC in Pittsburgh. Ryan Shazier's 50 Phenoms, in partnership with UPMC.
So Brandy, when I first heard about your story, I thought it was amazing what you went through. Can you tell me more about your family?
I would say we were pretty much a typical family. I had 2 young boys, and I was finally pregnant with my first daughter, which I was so pumped about.
So my wife told me that people go through different symptoms when they have a boy or a girl. So were you noticing anything different?
With my daughter, it did feel different from the beginning, and I thought, well, maybe it's because it's a girl. And later I found out that wasn't the case. And there was one day I woke up and I was just so completely swollen. And I'm like, something is not right at all. I said, well, we'll have to go to the doctor and find out what the heck's going on. They came into the room, and my husband and I were sitting there, and they said, you're in congestive heart failure. And then they kind of like walked out. And I looked at my husband, and I just started bawling because I'm like, what the heck? I am just pregnant. I am not in congestive heart failure and dying.
After you found out about that, what was the process after that?
They made a plan, and I went ahead and delivered my daughter. She was just 5 weeks early, but she was completely healthy. And then I remember I just started shaking uncontrollably. And they were like, we need to take her to ICU. So I was up there for a few days, and I had told them, you're not a heart hospital. If something's not right with me and you guys can't fix me, get the heck out of here. I need to be somewhere where they can. And after a few days in ICU, that's when they decided to send me to UPMC. That was my husband's hardest decision, was go to Pittsburgh with his dying wife or stay with our newborn baby. He did opt to go with me because we knew that she was in good hands, and we had family that would go and see my daughter while she was in the NICU. And it was a time in my daughter's life that she would never remember again.
I know that was a really hard decision for him.
I knew that getting a new heart was probably definitely the best option for me in my active lifestyle. I live about 3.5, 4 hours from the hospital, and you only have a certain time frame. I got the phone call, and it was a 412 area code, so I knew immediately that that was the call for the heart. I had prepared all this time getting ready to make certain I was ready to go when I got that call. And so then I went to the daycare to go in and tell them goodbye. And talk about needing major strength for me to say goodbye, because I didn't know what was going to happen. So then we went to the helicopter, and we came to UPMC, and the whole thing started.
I got hurt, I got hurt in Cincinnati, and what's crazy with me and your story is I actually got flown on a helicopter from Cincinnati to Pittsburgh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I think you said it's about 3 hours for you to get here. Cincinnati might be a little longer, probably like 5 hours, but being on the helicopter felt like forever.
Yeah. Yes, it did.
Especially in a critical moment like that. So how was the procedure?
I remember waking up and my heart was so stinking strong. I felt like it was beating out of my chest. My children didn't care that I had just had a new heart and I couldn't do a whole lot, but they were like, I'm thirsty, I'm hungry, Mommy, I need this, I need that. So I would always have to go walk to the kitchen and do all the things you have to do with toddlers.
Yeah, I think definitely when you have kids, a lot of times it makes you do a little bit extra. I know for me, one of my biggest motivations was to be able to play with my kids and just to help out around the house a little bit more.
Kids and my husband were definitely a huge factor, and because I wanted to make certain that my kids grew up with a mom. So I knew I had to fight through the entire process to make certain I was here for them.
What do you feel like you experienced from this whole process?
What I've honestly experienced, I've experienced love. And I mean that as far as experienced love from my family, from those who took care of me, to my community. But I also felt love from, I'm going to say my organ donor, because he loved me enough, not even knowing, to help a stranger.
So Brandy, what are some of the things you and your family envision in the future?
My husband often says that he had never even heard of volunteering until he married me, and I can't say no to anything. So that's one of the things I want to make certain that I instill in my children, that they continue to help those that need help. And also, we are going to continue promoting the importance of organ donation.
So Brandy, thank you so much for telling me what you went through in your story. Now you're Shazier's 50 Phenom. I would like to give you a jersey and sign it for you.
Thank you very much. My brothers are gonna be super jealous.